Most people think that when an avoidant woman breaks your heart, she moves on without a second thought, unbothered, untouched, already on to the next chapter. But that's not what happens. What she hides isn't indifference. It's a set of brutal, unspoken truths she will rarely, if ever, admit out loud. Not to you, not to her friends, sometimes not even to herself. And the longer she keeps them buried, the heavier they become. Here's what no one prepares you for. When she broke your heart, she didn't walk away clean. Research on avoidant attachment shows that people with this pattern don't escape emotional consequence. They delay it. So while you were processing the pain immediately, she was busy constructing a story that made her the rational one, the one who needed freedom, the one who simply wasn't ready, the one who did you a favor by leaving. But underneath that story, 7 brutal truths were already taking root, and they follow her whether she admits them or not. Truth number 1. She knew you were good for her. She left anyway. It wasn't confusion that made her walk away. She saw your value clearly. She felt it clearly. And that clarity is exactly what made staying feel impossible. Here's what most people misunderstand about avoidant attachment. The trigger isn't a bad relationship. It's a good one. When someone is inconsistent or emotionally unpredictable, the avoidant nervous system knows how to handle it. Distance feels justified. Leaving feels logical. But when someone is consistent, warm, and genuinely present, that's when the system goes into overdrive. Because real love requires real vulnerability. And vulnerability, to her, doesn't feel like connection. It feels like exposure. Like standing completely open with no armor and no exit strategy. So she found the exit first. She told herself it wasn't the right time, that she had things to figure out, that you deserve someone more ready. But underneath all those comfortable explanations was a simpler, harder truth. She knew exactly what you were offering, and she chose fear over it anyway. Truth number 2. She didn't leave because you did something wrong. You probably spent more time than you should replaying conversations, identifying the moment things shifted, wondering what you could have said differently, done differently, been differently. Stop, because the answer you're looking for doesn't exist. She didn't pull away because you failed some unspoken test. She pulled away because intimacy itself activated a withdrawal response she's been running on since long before she ever met you. Research on attachment theory is consistent on this point. Avoidant individuals don't distance themselves in response to their partner's flaws. They distance themselves in response to closeness. The closer you got, the more her nervous system interpreted genuine connection as a threat. So she built a justification. She assigned you flaws that were either exaggerated or invented. She remembered your worst moments and quietly forgot your best ones. She rewrote the story until leaving made sense. Not out of cruelty, out of survival. But a rewritten story doesn't erase what she actually felt. And somewhere underneath the revised version, she still knows the original. Truth number 3. She compares everyone she meets to you. She might be dating again. She might even look like she's moved on well. New energy, new pictures, new names showing up on her phone. But every conversation she has now gets measured against yours without her even trying. Every new person gets quietly held up to a standard she didn't fully know she had until she lost it. And most of them don't come close. Not because you were perfect, but because what you offer was rare. You listened in a way that made her feel genuinely seen. You created space without demanding she fill it. You stayed calm when she was difficult. You held her emotionally in a way that most people simply never learn how to do. She didn't appreciate it fully when she had it. Avoidant individuals rarely do. The value of consistent, emotionally safe love only becomes clear once it's gone. But now every new connection exposes a contrast quietly and relentlessly. Conversations feel flat. Emotional exchanges feel shallow. Something is always missing. And she knows exactly what that missing thing is. She just won't say out loud. Truth number 4. She fears she can't sustain love. Not just with you. With anyone. This one goes deeper than missing you. This one threatens the entire story she tells herself about who she is. Avoidant women often carry a very specific self-image. Strong. Independent. Someone who doesn't need much and functions better alone than most people do together. But when you loved her consistently and without agenda, something that self-image couldn't survive started happening. Old wounds surfaced. Wounds she had spent years managing through distance, control, and emotional self-containment. And when she couldn't stay open, when she shut down and eventually left, it didn't just hurt you. It revealed something painful about her own capacity. Not just to love you, but to sustain love at all. That realization doesn't stay quiet. It follows her into every relationship after. She starts seeing the cycle: excitement, closeness, discomfort, withdrawal, loss. And she wonders, maybe for the first time with real honesty, whether she's actually capable of something different. That question doesn't have a comfortable answer yet. And living with an unanswered question that cuts that deep is its own kind of suffering. Truth number 5. Your healing destabilizes her more than your pain ever did. When you were hurting, she could manage that. Pain from a distance keeps you present in a way she can quietly control. Still affected, still within reach, still a door she could theoretically open if she ever chose to. But when you started healing, when the reaching out stopped, your energy went quiet, and your attention visibly moved elsewhere, something shifted in her. The delayed separation distress that research consistently finds in avoidant individuals began to surface. While you processed your grief when she was still accessible, she began processing hers while watching you become inaccessible. That a fundamentally different kind of pain. This is often when a late-night message appears. The casual check-in, that doesn't quite sound casual. Not always because she wants a relationship back, but because your healing removed a safety net she had been quietly relying on without ever admitting it. Knowing you still cared gave her something to return to in theory, even if she never planned to return in practice. Your healing cut that net, and now she has to sit with the full weight of what she chose, without the cushion of your unresolved feelings to soften it. Truth number 6. She knows fear made the decision, not logic, not incompatibility. This truth arrives later, after the relief fades, after the distractions stop working, after enough quiet moments accumulate that honest reflection becomes unavoidable. And when she finally looks at the pattern clearly, she sees it. The way it always starts the same: connection, warmth, growing closeness, then that slow creeping discomfort as things become real. Then the reasons appear, why the timing is off, why something doesn't quite fit. Then the exit, and then the cycle begins again. She's seen this before, in relationships before you, and the common thread is always her. She can no longer fully blame you or circumstances or timing, because what drove every exit was fear wearing the disguise of logic. Fear that convinced her she was being rational when she was really just running. Seeing the pattern is not the same as breaking it. And the distance between knowing and changing is where a lot of avoidant individuals spend a very long time. Truth number 7. She knows this wasn't just a relationship. It was a turning point she walked away from. This is the one she hides deepest, because it has no comfortable resting place. It's not just about you. It's about what you represented. Love without games, without emotional armor, without the exhausting performance of not needing anyone. Real love, the kind she had quietly convinced herself she would find later, when the conditions were better, when she was more ready. And it arrived. In you, at a time when she wasn't prepared to receive it. The grief this produces isn't loud or dramatic. It shows up in the way she goes quiet in the middle of conversations that should be simple, in ways certain songs land differently than they used to, in the private moments when she allows herself to think about you, not with anger, not quite with longing, but with a quiet, honest acknowledgement. That was real, and I left it. She won't say this to you. She may never say it to anyone, but it is the truest thing she carries, and it is the one she guards most carefully, because facing it fully means facing everything else she isn't ready to face yet. Here's what matters most, especially if you were the man she broke. She isn't hiding these truths to hurt you. She's hiding them because facing them requires a level of honesty that her entire defensive system was built to prevent. The walls weren't built against you specifically. They were built long ago against a pain she never fully processed. You just happened to love her well enough to make them visible. Your love wasn't the problem. Your consistency wasn't the threat. You were simply real in a way her fear couldn't survive. So you have two choices: Hold on to this and keep a door open that may never be walked through. Or take it as final confirmation that you gave something genuine, something rare, and let that be enough to move forward. Both choices are valid, but only one sets you free. And that choice starts right now.